Quick tip video on how to help yourself learn a song that you can't find tabs for or sheet music or chords, etc. So I'm going to use this example right here. This is a soundtrack from a game called Life is Strange, and it's not a song, it's just an instrumental bit, and unfortunately you won't be able to hear it because I'm not recording the system audio, but it's an instrumental with many tracks overlaying guitar, background choirs, maybe a little bit of organ or synth. But the gist of it is, if you can't find chords or tabs and you really want to learn a song, this method won't give you perfect tablature. And you can't find any tutorials on YouTube or anything like that. But what we're going to do is we're going to download the audio, then convert it to a MIDI, and I'll get to that in a second. We're going to open it with a program like GarageBand that can read MIDI files, and then we're going to kind of go through it and see what keys are being pressed, and therefore what notes you should play. So this right here, this is a plugin that lets me download media, especially from YouTube, and here it's called Save From Net or something like that, or image downloader. But if you just Google YouTube downloader, Chrome, you should be able to find it pretty easily. Install it, reboot your Chrome, whatever, go to the song you want. Here, click download, but instead of downloading it as a default, which is the HD video, we're going to come down here and download as an audio. Any of these I think should work, but I've just tried the AAC and it works okay. So we're going to download it. After it's downloaded, we're going to go to a website. For example, I use this website here, and I just Googled MP3 to MIDI convert or something like that, audio to MIDI convert. You should be able to find it pretty easily. We're going to upload it, convert it. It's going to be very straightforward. Then it's going to say conversion has completed. Click it to download. It's going to download it as a MIDI. Open it. If it doesn't open with GarageBand, then right click on it, open it with GarageBand, whatever. Come into GarageBand, and after it's open, this is what we see. We're going to see a single track with a bunch of these lines and dots and stuff, and it's going to be by default on this grand piano here. You could change the instrument, but that's not really the point. The point is that all these lines and dots represent notes, and currently they're of no use to us. And again, I really apologize, I can't capture the audio, so right now it's playing through my headphones, but you won't be able to hear it, unfortunately. But it just sounds like kind of random notes. It's not the song as we heard it on YouTube. It's not perfect, but here's what we're going to do. Here's the magic. We're going to open this thing called musical typing, or the keyboard or whatever, applique, and come down here. And this, if we play it, it highlights the keys that are being played at any given moment. And to do this, you kind of have to know what chords are and kind of what the notes on a piano keyboard kind of correspond to. But you can look that up pretty easily. Again, this is just going to give you a general idea of what notes are being played and where the chord changes are, perhaps some weird notes. So right now, like for example, I know that those notes, and you can pause the video and stuff, those notes that are kind of being alternated between are a G major chord. So I could just alternate between those. Or I'm sorry, so this wasn't a G major, this is just like a D5 or something, because it's got an A, but it's gonna change, for instance right there, to a G major. Aha. But there you could see the this high E being pressed. Then there's a weird B flat, which perhaps I wouldn't have heard if I was just trying to tab it out by ear. And again, there you could see this D flat or C sharp, and then we could see another. If I come back here, you could see this F sharp there, and this B flat, and this. So they're a bit weird keys that perhaps I wouldn't be able to hear, but because I have this, it might give me some insight. And also you could traverse these octaves as well. So if we go up an octave higher, we see perhaps some different notes. And again, this is going to give you some mumbo jumbo pretty much. It's going to sound vaguely like the song, but it's not going to be exact, but it will give you perhaps some insight into what, quote unquote, weird notes are being played at what times. And by doing that, perhaps you can you're going to be able to figure out what the embellishment to a particular chord is, or where a certain transition is, because it's sometimes easy to hear the very topmost note of the melody line, or the topmost note of a chord, because that's what we kind of naturally hear. But some of the intermediate notes or the bottom notes are going to be a little bit harder to pick out, and this may give you some insight. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hope somebody found this useful.